You're listening to the Clean Comedy Podcast with James Creviston and Luke LaCoy.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Clean Comedy Podcast. It's James. It is just me this week. Just me. But it's Thanksgiving week, so I don't really want to bother anybody. I didn't really feel like bringing anybody on. I didn't feel like taking time away from their families, the things they could be doing this week. So I really wanted to do something as short and sweet and kind of reach out to you guys and say, first of all, say thank you, right? This podcast would not be possible without listeners. So if you're listening to this now, please go to YouTube and like, subscribe, all that stuff, please. We need more people to watch it there, help grow the numbers there. We can do more things the bigger we get. I appreciate everyone doing it. If you haven't left a review, please go leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're listening to it at. Please leave a review there. That's so helpful to us. And thank you to my co-hosts, Danny and Luke. Thank you to all the guests who've come so far. This year's been amazing. I mean, we have Barry Katz at one point. To me, that was like, whoa, I couldn't even believe that that's happening. And that's just shows how far we've really come. As a podcast, to have Barry Katz, like one of the greatest agents of all time, come on our podcast and talk to us for like almost an hour of his time. I think it was like an hour, maybe a little bit more. It was like, wow, that was just, it really pulled a lot to me. It meant a lot to me because I really respect him and what he does. I think he's just one of those people that, like, he knows talent, he knows stuff, he knows what to do. It's just like, that's amazing. I'm so happy. Then let's see. Really, I just want to say that I'm thankful. I was thinking about this week, like Thanksgiving. I was thinking, what am I thankful for? And I'm thankful for comedy. I'm thankful that comedy is a part of my life, is a part of who I am, and has been a part of my life really for a long, long time. Like when I was growing up, I'm going to go deep on this episode for you guys. When I was growing up, I had a really bad childhood. I had a lot of problems, a lot of things going wrong, some abuse, some emotional, physical, that kind of stuff. My mom went through a bunch of marriages and stuff. Like, I did not have a stable childhood at all. The only stable person in my life really was my grandma. And she always told me that if you can keep a sense of humor, you can get through anything. And so for me, that was my coping mechanism. Make jokes, make fun of stuff, don't take things seriously. Now, that's a recipe for disaster in the business world. That's a recipe for disaster sometimes in some parts of life, relationships, the military. They didn't really like me being the silly guy, the class clown. But honestly, it was a big part of how I kept sane. Like, even when I was in the military, like, there would be things happening or whatever, and I'd be the funny guy. Like, it could be tense, stressful, whatever, and I would just make jokes. And it's weird because when I was there, I was promoted very quickly. Like, I moved up really fast. From the time I enlisted to the time I got out, I went from E1 to E5 in about 2.5 years, which is not normal. So my last, like, third year, when I was coming back and I got out, like, I had some time saved up so I could get out early and stuff and go to start college in the fall of the year I got out. But I got promoted super fast, even though I was the silly guy. I was like the funny, jokey guy. I pulled pranks and just made people laugh. Like, I didn't follow regs half the time. Like, I had like really long sideburns that were like Elvis sideburn, like really big. And every day, our Master Chief, who's also a gunner's mate, and that's what my job was in the Navy, would come up and say, "Gunner, your sideburns are too long. You're going to need to go shave them." And I go, "Aye, Master Chief." And go down to the berthing and get the little razor, cut off a little bit of it. Just keep it just like a little bit higher, right, than it was, but not a lot, like just a little bit. And then I like take off, right? And then go back to doing whatever I do. And then he catch me the next day. "Gunner, your sideburns are too long and I need to shave them off." Aye, Master Chief. Just go down there and cut a little bit off. I never made it within range. It was always below the thing every single time. And there's no reason to do that. I should have just done it and been gone. But, like, I don't know why. I just thought it was funny. I thought it was a funny, like, routine that we got. I never got written up for it. I never got in trouble or whatever, but it was just a funny routine that we went through literally every single day. So when I think about that, I think about like, oh, I'm that guy. I'm the guy that was like that messes around and jokes around and is silly and doesn't take things serious. Now, I was always safe. I always took care of my sailors. I always did everything I was supposed to do. But when push came to shove, if there was time to have fun, I would go have fun, right? I would make sure everything was good. My guys got time off, I would make sure that they were taken care of. Or when we're underway and they couldn't do anything, I made sure we had I had packed extra sodas. I had packed candy. We had a working Xbox. We had a working PlayStation. Like all the things that I thought, like, okay, these guys will be so much happier if I do X, Y, and Z. That was my whole goal, to make people happy. And I think that's what comedy does, is it makes sure that people are happy. When I hear people laugh, I know I'm making a difference. I know that I'm affecting their lives in a positive way. And so for me, comedy is one of those ways where I connect with people, and I feel like I'm making the world a better place. That seems weird, right? When you think of making the world a better place, you think like, people feeding starving kids in Africa, or people doing their time to go help rebuild Haiti, or Elon Musk, donating money possibly to the UN to help end world hunger, or just a million different things, right? There's all these people out there every day doing things that actually make a real substantial difference in the world. Whereas comedy, it doesn't always feel like even as much as we want to say, oh, we're affecting people's lives, we're making people laugh, and that's good, sometimes it doesn't feel like you're doing a big work. But I've had people come up after shows and say, man, thank you so much. That was great. I've been kind of down. I've been a little, off, and your stand up made me laugh so hard, and it really brightened my day, and it really made me feel better. And thank you. Right. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. Or, I know kids, that I like to do a lot of stand up with families and kids, and sometimes they're special needs kids, and some of them will repeat jokes back to me, and I go, man, that's amazing. Like, yeah, the parents will be like, yeah, they never do that, like it's like, okay, this is great. We're getting something, we're touching people's lives, and for me, that's the biggest part of stand up. Now, the other part of stand up is that it leads to comedy avenues, right? Writing for other people, creating content. I was just looking at my numbers for what I've done this year. As far as money wise for comedy writing, the year's not over, right? It's November, end of November. I still have a lot of stuff that projects are still in the works right now that I am going to break last year's numbers, right? And this was a pandemic year. This is a year where I should not have done anything, right? It should have been very difficult. I'm breaking last year's numbers. I'm already over last year's numbers by a couple grand already. Yeah, it shouldn't happen. That should not happen. But because I am dedicated to what I do, dedicated to comedy, dedicated to learning comedy, reading books, writing jokes, doing everything I possibly can all the time, it's paying off, right? It's one of those things where comedy is consistency. If you're consistently writing jokes, you're consistently working on material, you're consistently working on yourself. I'm writing a script that's going to go to somebody that knows people at one of the big streaming companies, right? And knows a big star that I really want to be part of this film. I'm still in the process of finishing that script, tightening up, making sure it's funny, making sure it works, making sure it flows. I love it. I passed scenes around to people that I know, and they're like, "This is hilarious. Like, this will be amazing." And they're not just blowing smoke, being nice to me, because my friends they're not blow smoke type people. They're, David Studebaker. He's not going to blow smoke. He's going to tell me, "Oh, dude, that sucks. Like, what were you thinking when you wrote that?" Like, literally. So, um, this is what I want to remind you guys of. When you listen to this, it makes a difference in my life, and hopefully it makes a difference in your life. So I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say thank you to everyone who has let me work with them this year, everybody who's let me do stand up with them this year, everybody who's listened to my stand up, everybody who's listened to this podcast, everybody who's been on this podcast. I am grateful to every single person who has been part of this thing. I appreciate being able to teach teens stand up. I've done that 3 times this year. I did it twice last year. I'm already set on schedule to start next year around the beginning of the year. I love it. It's one of those things where I can give back and like do so much for these kids, and I grow too. I grow, I learn. It's just amazing. What else? I was really trying to think. Like, I just want to say thank you guys. So this episode is just being thankful, saying James says thanks. Like, that's really what it is. I'm thankful for all the people in my life, all the things that have happened in my life, my wife, my kids. Like, literally, I wouldn't be where I am without, especially without my wife. I wouldn't be where I am. She pushes me every single day. So, find people that push you to be better, because that's really what it is. Not just in comedy, but in every part of your life, right? If you want to work out, find somebody who's going to push you to work harder. If you like to draw, find somebody who's going to encourage your drawing, coding, whatever thing you're into, whatever it is, do that. I'm super duper into Magic the Gathering. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm super into Magic the Gathering. I play Magic every week. I played it earlier today. It is something that I love. It gets me out of my own brain for a little while so I can play and grow and do stuff. And then I come up with funny stuff, and I think of funny things. I say funny things to them, and I laugh. I make friends. It's amazing. I am super grateful for everyone in my life that helps me be a better comedian, be a better friend, be a better mentor. And I appreciate all the people who have mentored me. Robert G. Lee. I mean, so many people. I can't. It's like trying to rack my brain. Just like Gene Perrette, like Jerry Corley. Like, there's so many people who literally gone out. Leslie Knowles, like, just to gone out of my way, gone out of their way to mentor me. Marty Simpson. Like, I'm just like, so many people have given me. Dwayne Perkins gave me some of the best advice ever. I forgot Adam's name, the guy who does Adam Ruins Everything. He gave me advice. We talked before. Like, so many people have just really been so cool to me, and I am super grateful to them every day. So thank you guys. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I want to make this short. I want you to get back to your family this week. I want you to go and enjoy the Thanksgiving week. If you're not in America, you know what Thanksgiving is. It is literally the day you eat yourself till you explode like a stuffed turkey. That's what you do. That's what we do. That's America. And then you watch football. And then you this is how it works. Okay. If you're not in America, this is what it is. In the morning, you eat a bunch of stuff while people are preparing the real dinner. Then in the afternoon, you watch some sports and football. Then you eat some turkey. Then you pass out. Then you do something else with your family, and then you pass out again. It's basically being gluttonous, like, for one day. You just eat, pass out, or watch sports, or be lazy. Eat, pass out. Maybe you eat some more at pie after you've had dinner. You pass out after that, and you wake up the next day, and you've gained 20 pounds. That's what it is. So that's Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for it every single year. I think it's it's the most American holiday. Like, literally, I mean, yes, 4th of July, we blow stuff up, which is super American, but stuffing yourself until you feel terrible and pass out, that's so American. That's like the most American thing possible. Again, thank you, everybody, for listening. Please like, subscribe. Please go check out the podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe there. Please leave feedback. Have a wonderful week. Have a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy it. Get ready for next week. We're going to have so many more people. The year is not over. We've got like 6 more episodes this year. So get ready for it. We're excited. I'm excited. Everybody have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye.